Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Two Marks and a Spark. I am Ben. That is Russ. This show is a disaster and a mess.
Not yet. We're just getting started. Come on now.
Well, my notes are completely all over the place this week, and I'm missing some of them. So
Okay. Well,
we're
we'll
go-
get through it.
we're going places, kids. I want to start by talking about some of the news as well as the Cody Rhodes documentary.
Yeah.
Russ, I know you haven't seen it. We are recording this on the day it came out. It literally hit Peacock this morning as we record this. It was fine. Um, he wasn't lying when he said that there was BTE footage and they had footage from All In and stuff. They did have that,
Yeah.
but they completely skipped over pretty much all of AEW.
Well, I
Uh,
figured they probably would. They don't want to do anything to promote the competition, I guess.
there was a lot of mentions of a forbidden door, and they called it a little indie show when they were talking about All In, though 10,000 people is hardly
That's not
little,
what I call an indie show.
and 10,000 people is hardly small.
Oh, hell no.
Maybe small for WWE, but it's
A
not
little
small
indie
for
show to me is like 200 people or less.
50 people in a high school gymnasium.
Yes, I've been to a few of those.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
Um, it was good, but like it ended at WrestleMania. And so it ends with Cody getting his ass pinned in the middle of the ring. And it was like, and they spend way, and I do mean way too much time on like his first run. They spent, and Dusty is all over this thing.
Stardust and all that.
Yes, they spent so much time on it. And I'm like, dude,
Dashing Cody Rhodes.
some of that was kind of interesting because it's a lot of stuff you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
But like, they spent like 12 minutes or something crazy. This thing's 2 hours. They spent almost 12 minutes on fucking Stardust.
Oh, that doesn't sound like it makes any sense. They could have just said he didn't like it. He was glad to leave it. End of story. Nobody
Oh,
liked it. Nobody liked it that I know of. I never heard anybody say, "Wow, that's a great idea."
the stuff he did with Stephen Amell was cool, but you could have done that with him as dashing Cody Rhodes. You could have done that as Cody. Anyway, fuck it.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Yes.
another thing that came out according to the Observer today, um, Kevin Owens apparently is not sure what he's going to do when his deal's up. He told the Toronto Sun, again, this coming from the Observer, I really don't know, Owens said. Quote, I used to say I don't see myself not being in the ring for another 5 to 10 years. And if I said that, and if I said it right now, I'd be lying because over the last few months, I have to admit, I don't know if that's true anymore. The quote continues,
Right.
I look at things and I don't know where I stand going beyond the next year and a half. I know I want to be involved in wrestling. I know I want to be involved in the WWE. And I know I have a place here. I just don't know where it is exactly. Maybe it's in the ring. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Owens would continue, quote, I think the next year and a half, my focus is just enjoying everything I do as much as possible. He would continue further, quote, there's really not really a worry about winning a title or main eventing WrestleMania or any of that stuff anymore, which are the dreams that everybody has because I've been so blessed and I've gotten to do all of that. So I just want to have fun and I want to give people fun times to remember me by. He continued, whether this is the end for my wrestling, I don't know. And I don't want to sound dramatic. I don't want to say that this is a retirement speech or anything because I still might be wrestling for 10 years. I have no idea. My thought process right now is just trying to enjoy the next year and a half as much as possible, as much as I possibly can, rather, because I don't know what's on the other side. That's all I'm really worrying about.
Well, you got a year and a half left with the contract.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's smart in that, he's making better money there than he will ever make any place else he goes. So
Yeah. Uncle
he,
Dave. Uncle Dave's reported it's in the $2 to $3 million range a year.
well, he should be socking that money away for his family, and then he's got the option to renew, go someplace else, or retire, or change careers. As long as he can stay healthy and not get hurt too bad.
Well, Russ, I watched the Hulu version of Raw this week.
Okay,
I
that's
thought this show was fucking abhorrent.
I'm glad you watched it on Hulu. I slogged through the 3 hours, although I did hit that fast forward more often than I usually do, and not just the commercials.
I did not like this show, Russ.
Yeah, I will say there was one good match, but overall this sucked.
This show started somewhat promising with the Judgment Day in the ring. I'm not going to spend too much time on this Raw show because I really didn't like it. I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about this week. This Raw show is not it.
We did get to see Dominic make his championship solo entrance. Got him. He still ain't going to get no love from the crowd. They still hate his guts.
No.
And you notice how they're hinting subtly that him and mommy are going to have problems down the road. She's accepting match bookings on his behalf.
I mean, she's been doing that for almost a year now. I'm not.
And now he acts like he's starting to get sick of it with his facial expressions and stuff. So it's moving a little slow for a soap opera storyline, isn't it?
Yeah, it's moving that way. Well, anyway, Owens and Zayn interrupt, and I swear to God, this feud's going to go on forever.
Yeah.
I really like the Judgment Day, but have you ever noticed that every feud they get put in lasts for years?
Seems to, yeah.
Shit, they were feuding with Edge for a year. It felt like. Well, anyway. This whole thing goes back and forth. They make a match for later. Who cares?
Right. Which, that's the way they always do it.
They go to commercial. They come back. It's Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark, oddly early in the show.
Right.
This was a much better match than their first one.
Yes, it was. It was a little bit longer.
Actually, I think this one was shorter.
We get Trish with her face mask assisted headbutt, they call it.
Yeah, Becky hit that awful Uranagi called the manhandle slam for a win. I still hate that fucking move. Becky wins. No one cared. The crowd did not give a shit about this match.
Manhandle slam, they call it. That's I can't keep track of all the different names for these different finishers. But manhandle slam, because she's the man, right?
Mm-hmm. We get a Cody Rhodes promo at an odd point in this show.
Right. He didn't bother Mom by it at all, he says. My mom, she's seen my dad get beat up before, and she went out drinking with Gordon Soley, and she's pretty tough, and she ain't going to be intimidated by the likes of Brock Lesnar.
Well, anyway, he essentially said that he's going to kill Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Yep. He's not going to beat him. He's going to embarrass him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did a Jackie interview backstage with Ricochet. I think they finally fired Byron.
I didn't see him. Byron Saxton.
I don't miss him. I'll tell you that much.
I sure hope that they didn't fire him. He's the most underused talent since David Otunga. Man, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna fire you. Anyway.
Hey, I suppose you don't like David Otunga either.
No more than I like Byron Saxton. All right.
Oh, he's got a better physique than you.
I mean, he's got a better physique than you too, bud. What's your point?
Well, I know. Absolutely.
So old Jackie's backstage with old Ricochet there.
Right, right.
Um,
Talking about our friend
Logan.
Logan. Yes, Logan Paul.
Fellow YouTube star is Logan Paul. We are, of course, YouTube stars.
Yeah, but not boy, I tell you what, we don't have his numbers.
Brother, if we ever start doing his numbers, I'm moving to an island in Costa Rica and I'll see you next year. Anyway,
Right.
I mean, I'll do one show a year if we ever start doing his number. I'll do
That's
one fucking show a year and I will show up and I will get my paycheck. And you know what? I will go home.
there you go. And do whatever the hell you want.
I will be the Undertaker. I will show up one night a year. I will get my fat paycheck
Sure.
and I will go home. And I'll do it all again a year later.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Well, then we did get a title match such as it was.
Such as it was, yeah. Sami Zayn versus Dominic Mysterio for the North American title.
I mean, you knew when they set this up as a title match that there's going to be some kind of outside interference. Dominic is not going to
Well, not only that, but like Zayn was kind of basically in a handicap match here because Owens is hurt.
Right. Oh, that's right. He's backstage getting tended to.
No, he's legitimately injured, as is Liv Morgan. They're both legitimately injured.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're talking about beyond the storyline, the really medical, right?
They're legitimately injured. So, anyway, this match was good. For what it was, they went to break like 30 seconds in the match. Dominic won.
I'm surprised they still use these terms like the Michinoku driver. How many people watching Monday Night Raw have any idea who Taka Michinoku is?
Me and you.
Yeah, anybody that's been watching, you have to have been watching more than the last few years.
Yeah, well, anyway, Dom wins on a roll up.
Right.
I hate that finish. We get a promo for Gable Stevenson's decision on NXT. I did not watch this. I do not care. I will not watch NXT. You cannot pay me enough. You know what? I'll tell you what. If you people really want me to, I'm cutting a you people promo. What the hell is wrong with me? Am I a heel now, Russ?
Mm-hmm.
When did I turn heel?
Today.
Or have I always been the heel?
No, you just turned.
Well, that means we got to do a double turn because that needs to make you the babyface.
Oh, that's never going to fucking work.
Did we just screw ourselves?
Yeah, we did.
Well, anyway, if you fucking people really want me to watch NXT, here's what you do. You go to twitch.tv/BenGames99 and you hit the subscribe button. And you pay me $4.99 a month. And if 25 people do that, fuck, I'll watch NXT. You know what? Not only will I watch NXT, I'll do a live reaction show over there.
Sure.
Fuck it. No, I don't want to watch NXT. But you know what? If 25 people are paying me $5 a month to do it,
right,
I'll watch NXT.
Sure. Fuck. But yeah, the Gable Stevenson, I don't care. I'm like you, I don't care. But we had to get a recap of Kevin Owens laying down again right away. And the reason why we had to have this is because it's a 3-hour show and they got time to fill up. So we get all of these replay. We'll probably see it again before the show's over.
And we get, I swear to God, it was a 7-minute Roman Reigns video package.
Yeah, you see, here's the thing. You always get a lengthy, detailed recap of the entire Bloodline storyline on Raw, but you don't get as much of the Judgment Day storyline on SmackDown, a little bit less.
Because the Bloodline is what everybody cares about.
2-hour versus 3-hour show, but Apparently, the Bloodline storyline is drawing their best ratings, or they wouldn't be doing that.
I'm going to skip over a lot of the backstage stuff for this show
That's fine with me.
because most of this shit, I will be honest with you, does not matter.
No, we see a few faces we haven't seen in a while, but so what? Then we get to Bronson and Tomasa. What do you think of this one?
I fucking hate that Tommaso Ciampa can't win a match to save his life, but other than that,
Has he won a match since he was his last return? Not yet, I don't think.
he beat The Miz his first night back.
That's it. I think that's it. Yeah, he humiliated the Miz, and that looked very promising, and everybody enjoyed that. And since then, they've been kind of burying him.
Oh, but let's not forget, The Miz got his heat back because The Miz beat him in an ODQ match. Like, what was that, a week or two ago?
Right.
Anyway, as I grab my drink. Anyway, that happened. Oh, Byron was on this show. I stand corrected. It was forgettable, so I forgot.
Okay. Me too, obviously.
Yes, Byron is now a she. Oops. I'm tired, folks. Byron's back there with Liv.
Yes.
I remember nothing from this promo. I wrote nothing down. Who cares? We got Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan was announced. It didn't happen because Liv is hurt.
Right. We get tons and tons of backstage information, more than we needed about this contract signing with Seth Rollins. And again, they're just filling up time for a 3-hour show. Just think how much, you watch this on Hulu, so you get about 90 minutes to 2 hours. And even then, there was stuff that they could have cut out, right?
See, I don't know where it was on the actual show. Because again, I watched this on Hulu because I can't be bothered to watch 3 hours of this. I stream Monday nights on Twitch. I'll be honest. I make money on Twitch. I don't make money watching Raw. Like, really, that's it. And I know that sounds terrible and awful.
Oh, it doesn't sound awful at all. You sound like a capitalist.
But does that make sense to anybody? Like,
yeah.
Does everybody understand the concept here?
I'm
not going to watch 3 hours of Raw. I'm not going to do that. I watch this show because I like it, not because I have to. If me and Russ got a bug up our ass tomorrow and decided we didn't want to talk about Raw anymore, we fucking wouldn't.
Yeah.
So anyway.
If we ever do that, the show will be called Raw is No More.
By the way, if there was ever going to be a show to drive me over the fucking edge, it might have been this one.
Yeah.
And by the way, if you think for one fucking second, by the way, this is something else too. Me and Russ could decide one week we could get a bug up our ass and decide we don't want to talk about wrestling anymore. I guarantee you, me and Russ can find something else to talk about for 2 hours.
Probably, yeah.
Now, would we get ourselves in trouble? Oh, most certainly. We get ourselves in trouble on this show.
Yeah, most likely we would.
Imagine what me and Russ would do if we were given free form to talk about whatever the fuck we wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Russ, we'd be off the air in a week.
Well, probably, I could start out one of the mail order cults.
Well, fucking anyway, back to this awful Raw show. We get the Ricochet Logan Paul thing. My favorite part of this was Logan Paul pointing at a fan, calling them a virgin. That was my favorite part of this. Anyway, we move on.
Sandy gets interviewed backstage. She's pissed off at Ronda. Okay. Same thing.
Same shit, different day here.
Right. And it's been a while. I can't remember the last time I saw Apollo Crews, but it's been a while.
I swear he went back to NXT.
Was he in the? Yeah, he's been in NXT. I thought, yeah, for a
Yeah,
while.
he got drafted back to Raw, and we haven't seen him since.
Right. I think this may have been the first time since that so-called draft
Mm-hmm.
that he actually showed up here. Unless maybe he's doing dark matches or something. Could be.
You know, they
Doing
really
something.
could reformat the draft. You know what would be interesting for the draft?
What's that?
Here's a fantasy booking concept that should show you about how much I care about this fucking Raw show. Yeah, I'm gonna say the F word a lot this week, folks. I'm pretty pissed. Mostly about Raw. Here's an interesting concept for the draft. Instead of drafting people to Raw and SmackDown and all that crap, make the draft exclusively for NXT. You do 3 rounds and you draft people and you make call-ups a big fucking deal instead of, oh, look who's here this week.
And then when you're booking, you have to stick to it in your book.
And listen, you could have it where the main roster has a GM and NXT has a GM. Adam Pearce and I don't know, Regal can probably be on TV again pretty soon. So why not Regal? And you have it where Pearce drafts a Braun Breaker #1 overall. So Braun Breaker gets all this hype. But like the last pick of the draft, whoever you want that to be, I don't know, fucking John Cena.
Yeah, there you go.
You do something like that. Get creative. That's kind of your job, you morons. Anyway, Damian Priest absolutely murdered Apollo Crews. No one cared.
Right. Do you know that they call his finisher South of Heaven?
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, well, I've heard that before, but I wonder if that's really strange. South of Heaven, that's Slayer's second best album, in my opinion. He must be a Slayer fan.
I don't know. Do you want me to call him and ask him?
Sure.
Hello, Damian Priest? Yeah, it's that fucking idiot from Two Marks. Yeah. Are you a Slayer fan by chance? Oh, he hung up on me.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Well, shit. Anyway, we get a Gunther Drew McIntyre segment.
Yes. I like seeing these guys wrestle.
I liked this segment. I thought this was fun.
This was the best segment of the show, I thought, far and away.
Yeah. Probably. I don't think it was close.
And then we know we're getting to the end of the show because right as we go to a commercial break, we see Finn Balor.
Well, after that promo, we get a match. McIntyre beats Kaiser. This was a good match.
Yes.
And then we get the Finn Balor Seth Rollins contract signing. I'll be honest, this was good, but I remember nothing.
Yeah, it was all right, but like I said, they've done this a million times. Yeah. Judgment Day gangs up on Seth
and Brock is going to be there next week, as is Logan Paul. When I say next week, I meant tonight.
Right, tonight.
And it may have already happened as you're watching this.
Where are they at tonight? You remember?
I can look it up.
I can't remember. I'm just
location tonight. Where is Raw tonight? Excuse me, WWE. Tell me where your freaking show is. Oh, they're in Houston, Texas. Yeah. Of course, Brock would show up.
Hey, can I give you some breaking news? Just came over.
Yeah.
BBC is reporting that Welsh wrestling legend Exotic Adrian Street died at the age of 82.
Adrian Street? Holy shit.
Yes. His wife, Linda, who served as Street's manager of LA for most of our careers, told the news service her husband suffered a stroke, which resulted in a brain bleed. While recovering at home from treatment of that, infections developed and took his life.
Yep, that is confirmed. I'm seeing that as well. Holy shit. Well, rest in peace, Adrian Street. Wow.
Yes, yes.
We don't get to break news on this show very often.
Yeah, I just happened to have that page open for Cage Side, and it literally just popped up while we were talking. So
Wow.
anyway, back to Raw. What were we doing now? Right, that was
Bitching.
it. That was it. We're done with Raw. We wash our hands of that mess. And we'll talk about something else now.
So anyway, talk about Uncle Russ's Comic Talk, because god damn it has to be better than Raw.
Uncle Russ's Comic Talk got a new episode coming out this week, doing more historical recalls of the newspaper comic strips and old Superman from the 1940s through the 1950s, through the Red Scare, and also tons of brand new comic books for sale. Just got a whole bunch of new Iron Man stuff listed today. Uncle Russ's Comic Talk on YouTube. Check it out.
Well, my question is, Russ,
Yes.
in your opinion, is it better than Monday Night Raw?
Which one? Dynamite?
Uncle Russ's Comic Talk.
Oh, yeah. I think it is.
It's definitely shorter.
It's definitely shorter. It's about 10 to 15 minutes, tops.
Well, anyway, you know what else is better than Raw?
What?
This Dynamite show.
This was interesting.
I want to make it perfectly clear here. I was not a fan of really any of the shows this week. I thought they were all kind of middling. Raw, perhaps more so than any of them. But oh my God. Can we talk about this? Hang on. And I know we've got 3 shows to do and all that, but whatever. There's too much fucking wrestling on television.
Yeah, there sure is.
Fuck.
You know, when you love wrestling and it becomes a chore to watch, then there's just too much. You know, you got to be selective.
It's not a chore with the 4 that we do.
Nope.
But if I had to watch fucking Rampage and Ring of Honor every week,
plus NXT. Plus you also have New Japan available. You've also got
Impact
available. And you've got WOW if you want to go for the modern. I think it's like the modern version of Glow.
Stardom.
They do have some very talented wrestlers, but I guarantee you if they're working for that company, they're going to be settled with a stupid gimmick.
So anyway,
yeah, I agree. There's just way too much. And
I think eventually
watch it all.
I think eventually what me and you are going to do, and we've talked about this once you get your setup at home there.
Yeah,
I think we're going to do 2 and 2. I think we're going to review 2 shows on one show and review 2 shows on another.
That sounds good.
Because holy fuck. That'll let us go more in detail too.
Yeah.
Because I take pretty detailed notes, but I skim the details because we got to talk about 4 fucking shows.
Right. Absolutely.
Now, I know what some people are going to say, and I'm probably going to get a message or 2 on Twitter about this. Oh, you don't have to talk about all 4 shows.
Right.
No, we don't, but do we want to be relevant? Yes.
These are the 4 most important shows of the week, I think.
I'm not going to talk about Collision. Or not Collision, Rampage. I'm not going to talk about Rampage. I'm not going to talk about NXT. And like I said, if I get 25 people from here, if I get 25 new subscribers in the next month over on Twitch, I'll do a live reaction thing over there. And maybe Russ will come hang out with me one night and we'll make a whole fucking festivity out of it. And I'll watch NXT. I'll do it for as long as people want it, but I don't plan on watching NXT unless you're paying me.
Sure.
Because that show is like watching fucking paint dry.
Well, paint dry is more or better.
Russ, we've watched 1 episode of NXT since we restarted doing this show. I have no desire to watch that fucking show again.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yet. Anyway,
What do you think of Dynamite
I thought Dynamite was a very good show.
in Albany? It had its moments. It was all right.
Show started with video package to kind of talk about AR Fox and his friendship with Darby Allin.
AR Fox, Orange Cassidy. It seems like we almost always get Orange Cassidy first match on Wednesday.
And
And Orange Cassidy always retains the title no matter what. Very, very predictable.
well, I would assume he's going to lose that belt pretty soon.
Yeah, it would make sense for him to. AR Fox, though, seems to be getting a lot of hype here lately, getting a little bit of a push.
I really like AR Fox, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Well,
But AR, he post match a little bit of a heelishness there.
yeah. Well,
He was not a good loser. He wasn't a good sport.
no.
He broke Orange Cassidy's glasses. And
Yeah.
then he laid him out with a forearm.
Well,
Darby Allin then has to come down and give him a lecture. Just like that's Darby Allin's role lately. Here's asking favors for buddies of his and lecturing everybody about how they're doing wrong. That seems to be his gimmick lately.
so funny. It's going to lead to his heel turn, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I think it could. He'd be a great heel.
Well, we get Renee Paquette, the best interviewer in wrestling, backstage.
Sure. With our buddies, Chris and Don.
With Chrissy and Donnie Boy. And this whole thing is just this is getting ridiculous with this Jericho thing.
Right. And he had a painting of the two of them when they wrestled together years ago with Bad News Allen.
Did you know who Bad News Allen was before they started?
Yeah, I did, but I could not to be confused with Bad News Brown. But yeah, I remember him from a long time ago. But he was never like on the list of like my favorite wrestlers or anything, but I know who he is.
Was he like ever in WWE or was he an indie guy?
I don't think he was never ever in WWE. But anyway, he got a nice painting there.
Anyway, we get a video package for Hook.
Sure.
We get a Claudio and Wheeler thing basically saying don't play with fire and don't fuck with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Okay.
By the way, if they could say the F word on national television, I'm pretty sure the Blackpool Combat Club would say it more than anybody.
Yeah, probably would. Absolutely.
We get Jack Perry out there.
Right, with Tony Schiavone.
With poor Tony Schiavone.
Poor Tony. I tell you, he doesn't get a lot of respect from some of these wrestlers, you know?
I think he's one of the greatest wrestling announcers of all time, by the way.
I do. I think he's great. And he gets treated like a jabroni.
I think he's been better in AEW than he ever was in WCW.
Right.
He was great in WCW, but I think he's been better in AEW.
You know what my pet peeve is? Is
Tony Schiavone getting beaten up?
The interviewer is the stick man. He holds the microphone. When a heel wrestler grabs the microphone out of his head and starts talking to the, that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, maybe I'm sounding really, really old school. But damn it, he's interviewing you. He holds the microphone. Then you can use your hands and stuff, you know.
Well, what I thought would be your pet peeve is the fact that Tony Schiavone is constantly getting buried.
Yeah. Well, as soon as anything goes on, he's smart, though. He gets the hell out of there. You know, he hightails it out of there really quick.
Well, anyway, this whole thing leads to Jerry Lynn coming out.
Right.
Jerry Lynn is apparently going to wrestle.
He's going to wrestle this Wednesday night. He's wrestling Jack Perry.
This was not on my bingo card for 2023.
I had no idea that he was still able to wrestle. It'll be, you know what? Everybody remembers him probably from ECW. He had a run in WCW for that in a match. They called him Mr. JL.
I remember him from early TNA.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this, but he had a really good feud with AJ Styles.
Yes, he did. This guy, Jerry Lynn's a very, very good. I think he's a Minneapolis native, if I remember right.
By the way, I found out today that Chad Gable's from Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that. I knew that, but I'd forgotten because, you know, American Alpha was so long ago. I don't remember that crap. Anyway, well, I guess we're getting Jerry Lynn versus Jack Perry.
Right.
That's gonna be a good match. I don't know why we're doing
I'm
it.
sure.
Huh?
I'm sure Jack Perry's going to win.
And I'm sure Jerry Lynn's gonna get hurt.
He probably will, give him a little bit of schooling, though.
Do you
I'm
think?
looking forward to seeing it because I always enjoyed Jerry Lynn's wrestling.
What do you think the conversation was backstage when they were debating how to get Jerry Lynn to have a match?
I have no idea.
What do you think happened there? Do you think he just went up to Tony and he's like, "Hey Tony, I want to have a match." What? Want to have a Jerry? It's 2023. What the hell are you saying? I want to have a match, Tony.
That's right.
You let Billy Gunn go out there until about a week ago when Billy Gunn retired randomly in the middle of the ring.
That's right. But yeah, it'll be good to see Jerry Lynn.
I could not believe that Jerry Lynn was coming out of retirement. Anyway, as we move on, Pac versus Gravity. This was funny.
Yes, it was. You know what Gravity reminds me of? If you stick a couple of aerials on his mask, he would look like freaking what the hell was that alien guy? The back in WCW.
What the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about the guy with the silver face, Ultron, or whatever the hell his name was.
What the hell?
Okay, I can't remember the guy's name.
Are you talking about
Lasertron?
What?
His mask reminds me of Lasertron. You remember Lasertron?
I don't think that was his name.
Yeah, Lasertron. He was in the WCW, wasn't he?
Are you talking about the guy, like the Ice Ninja or whatever? What in the hell?
Well, never mind. Forget about it. Forget I brought it up. Yeah, there was a wrestler called Lasertron back in the early '90s in WCW.
No,
Dressed up like he had a mask that looked like Gravity, but it had an antenna coming out of it like a space alien.
Hang on. I found it. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, Lasertron, right? It was really stupid. I don't know. He was like from the future or some shit, Gravity versus Pac was funny.
The internet got the joke. Anyway, Pac wins with the submission.
That's right. The brutalizer. Then we get then they had to repackage the interview from last week with Adam Cole and MJF.
Yep.
They're getting a hell of a push. Roderick Strong still trying to persuade Adam Cole. Watch out. He's going to fool you.
He's going to fuck you, Adam. He's going to fuck you. So anyway.
Right. Adam Cole tells Roddy to stop being so possessive.
So anyway,
Yes.
we get a FTR recap of what they said as well. We'll get to
Correct.
that in a minute. Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin was fucking great.
Yeah, I love it. Swerve Strickland is really, he's becoming one of my favorite guys in AEW. And that's just because he's won my respect by the way he moves in his matches. He's got a great set of moves. And, his gimmick is starting to get over with me. I like Swerve Strickland a lot.
I like both of those guys a lot. A match that was very good on paper, but had a problem. Britt Baker and Taya Valkyrie. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay. People bitched online way too much about this. The crowd was dead for the first half of this match. And they botched a spot that was supposed to be some sort of wheelbarrow spot. And the crowd was dead. They go to commercial, they come back. And when they come back from commercial, the crowd's hotter than shit. So anybody online trying to say, oh, these two can't work, this is why Tony shouldn't book the women's division, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Botches happen in both companies all the time.
Sure.
I still think, for as much of a mess as the first half of this match was, this was better than pretty much any match on Raw.
Yeah.
Other than Drew and Ludwig.
I've been a little surprised that Taya Valkyrie, the way she's been used since she got back, she hasn't been winning the big matches.
I thought she'd have the title by now, I'll be honest with you.
I thought she would too.
And I would have been fine with that. Then we get this stupid fucking main event.
The 6-man tag, yeah, this was a clusterfuck, wasn't it?
Anyway.
Best friends, Blackpool Combat Club and Lucha Brothers.
Well, anyway, the Lucha Bros win.
Right. But Orange Cassidy had to get involved.
Everybody and their mother gets involved in this match. This was a mess. Right. By the way,
and it ended with they won, but it ended. They pretty much went off the air with a big giant brawl going on.
Anyway, I want to point out that they announced on this show for Rampage a #1 contender tag team battle royal. Meanwhile, their main event for Dynamite was a triple threat tag team match.
Yeah, something changed.
What?
Something definitely changed.
Okay, Tony. Well, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
SmackDown was a 2-beat show.
2 big, you say?
2-beat. It was a good show, but it really only had about 2 to 3 things going on.
Right.
And they both happened fairly early and then towards the end. This show started with Jey Uso.
Yes.
Jay does his New Orleans, I'm in your city thing.
Then comes Roman with Paul and Solo.
Here comes Roman, Solo, and Paul. This was another very good promo. Pretty much what you'd expect from these two. And Roman basically just said more of what he's been saying. You cannot beat me. You will not beat me. And even if you somehow do manage to beat me, you can't handle this pressure.
Yes.
Is pretty much what he told.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
Sure.
After Jay gets the shit beat out of him, he makes the comeback a little bit, and that was the end of the segment. And he ends up running into Grayson Waller, who asks him to be on the Grayson Waller effect. Jay smacked him.
Just popped him right in the mouth. That was funny. Oh yeah, and then we got to see the WWE United States Championship #1 contenders invitational finals. Boy, that's a mouthful.
This was a good match.
Yes, it was Ray versus Santos.
There was a lot of respect here, and I kind of appreciated that. They acknowledged that they're in the same stable. They're like, normally these two would not want to hit each other as hard as they can, but they're going to right now.
So this looks like a real injury.
Yeah.
With Ray. Is it actual real? Did you get the behind the scenes?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I mean,
no.
I would assume if they stopped the match, yes.
Yeah. Santos won by, yeah, but it was a good match while it lasted. They had an emotional post-match hug. Fans, I don't care what crowds almost always respond positively to good sportsmanship, you know, and unless you're from fucking Philadelphia or something like that, those people would boo their own grandma.
I would boo you.
Just for the hell of it, right?
Just because I think you're an ass.
Oh, okay.
Russ.
Yeah.
You're my favorite. You know that.
Oh, I know.
Anyway. Best co-host in the business. Anyway.
Bianca and Charlotte. Oh, yeah, we got more Bianca, Charlotte, Chelsea, Sonya. I don't really cherish the idea of Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair as a tag team.
Can they coexist?
They should have been at each other's throats. You know, sooner or later they will be. It's inevitable.
Anyway, we get LA Knight, who is a massive superstar.
Boy, he's good.
He squashed Ashante the Adonis.
Ashante Adonis, who is what's the group he was with? Was he one of the models?
He's in Hit Row.
Hit Row, that's right. Hit Row. You know, a lot of these groups like Hit Row, they're just, I'm not saying they're no good. It's just that there's so many of them that they're like a dime a dozen, and I can't keep track of them all in my memory.
Well, there used to be none of them, so I think I prefer this to the previous approach.
Sure.
Jay Uso talks to Adam Pearce, gets a match made for the main event. Grayson Waller versus Jay Uso.
Yeah.
Street Profits are hanging out with Bobby Lashley.
Always good to see the Street Profits. I love them.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe a new Hurt business here?
Yeah.
Maybe a new Hurt business? Can we get
MVP back? Well, you know, they tried the Hurt business a couple of times, and it seemed like it got cut off short both times.
But they're so good. It's
this when it was really starting to gel, it came to an end for one reason or another.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that was because of things behind the scenes they could control, or whether Vince McMahon got a wild hair up his ass and rewrote the show, or you never know.
Well, anyway. Charlotte and Bianca against Chelsea and Sonya in a non-title match. This was fucking stupid.
Yeah. I didn't really think that was great. But it was very entertaining to Bailey and Io. They got to laugh and giggle. Bianca and Charlotte win by pinfall.
You should not be pinning your new tag team champions.
Right. Yeah.
under any fucking circumstance. I don't
No,
care
it
what.
just makes it look. I never understood that kind of booking.
Uh, anyway, this show pisses me
Oh,
off.
oh yeah. Then we find out we're going to get a Slim Jim Battle Royale, sponsored by Slim Jim, I assume. Snap into a Slim Jim.
I missed that. When did they announce that?
Says back from commercial. We're informed there'll be a SummerSlam Battle Royal.
Brought to you by Slim Jim.
Yeah, and LA Knight is wanting in it.
I must have went to the bathroom or something. I don't know.
It was right after commercial break, and
I was back for the
it was
next
right
match.
before the Carl Anderson Karrion Kross match.
See, I saw the match.
Okay, yeah, that was a good match.
It was short.
It was short, but I like Carl Anderson way better than I like Karrion Kross. But I knew it was going to go this way because they want to push Karrion Kross, and he's still not that over with me. There's just something about the whole package that just doesn't feel believable.
Yeah, he's not over with me either. I mean,
Carl Anderson has been over with me since I first saw him wrestle.
Kross has a good look, but just
he's like a lot of these big muscular physique guys. Like Brian Cage or that just kind of they just kind of are interchangeable to me. All these big hunks,
kind of don't work. I'm starting to realize the big muscular guys that would have worked 20 years ago don't work now. Are you noticing that?
Yeah.
The Giants don't work anymore. Anyway, we got a very good main event.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Grayson Waller in the main event. But this was the best match of the show, didn't you think?
This was the best WWE match this week.
Yeah, probably so.
And no, I did not watch NXT Great American Bash. I had paint to dry.
There you go. There you go.
Jey Uso wins.
Right. But then we got the post-match, the mandatory post-match bloodline storyline, sneak attack, Solo. Yeah, he hit him with Samoan spike. Reigns brought him down with a spear.
And that was the end of that.
Yeah. And then he was just Reigns standing tall there, wanting the folks to acknowledge him. And that was it. It was okay, SmackDown. I enjoyed it more than Raw. Even when SmackDown is mediocre, I tend to enjoy it more just because of the pacing,
Because it doesn't waste your time.
When by the time you get to Raw, you feel like you've been taken advantage of.
Anyway, go check out the Movie Shelf, a new show right here on Lock 22, hosted by our own Damon Marvin.
And it's very, very good, man. Really good.
Go check that out right here on Lock 22. And of course, Dames Marvs will also be on NFL when that comes back here in a couple of weeks. Go check out my Twitch streams at twitch.tv/BenGames99.
Yes.
I hang out over there for 3 to 4 hours a few times a week. It's a lot of fun. We play video games. We get sidetracked and do funny stuff. Really, if you like my silly, jokey side, come hang out over on Twitch, because that's all it is. I am not serious over there at all. If you like me being silly, goofy, funny, look at the funny man on my screen, if you like that version of me, go watch the Twitch streams, because that's all it is for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Russ, imagine listening to my voice for 3
Sounds
hours.
to me like if I tune into that, I better have an adult beverage on hand. Oh,
I encourage it. I I do have a profanity warning on my streams though, because Twitch requires it if you're going to say the word fuck.
Really?
Twitch is like, well, if you're going to say fuck, please put a profanity filter on your shit.
Okay. And it's supposed to automatically filter you out, huh?
I don't know. We have fun over there. My community's totally insane. They're crazy. Anyway.
Yep. Well, you could even have some music on there,
They are so picky about copyright.
Oh, I know. You can't even play 10 freaking seconds of the song anymore.
It's even worse on Twitch. Twitch will just delete your shit without telling you.
Well, you just need to find music from underground artists that are not, owned by the big corporations.
It's exactly what I do.
Yep.
Uh,
There's lots and lots in every genre of music. There is underground music to be discovered. I found that out,
I continue, by the way.
You can find it on the internet.
I continue to dislike Collision.
Really, I like Collision. I was very disappointed in the first half of this show. I felt like I was watching Dynamite. And I thought that this ladder mask, the ladder match for the mask, I thought it was monumentally stupid. It made no sense. Because these guys continually, you have your opponent laying in the corner of the ring injured or outside of the ring injured. And these fuckers just go around and stack up ladders in the corner instead of climbing up and grabbing the mask, which is the object of winning the match. This match made zero sense. It was terrible storytelling. This is one of the worst ladder matches I've ever seen.
Anyway, Andrade won.
Yes, he did. But did you think it was worth a damn?
It was a spot fest. It was fun for what it was. It wasn't much. It was fun. It was fine. I didn't hate it. I just don't like.
But Buddy Matthews, I like a lot.
I like Andrade a lot too.
They're both very good wrestlers. I would have rather seen them wrestle a straight match than a gimmick match because they're both capable of much better than this.
I also here's my thing. I like Dynamite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I like Collision, but I fucking hate the fact that it's on Saturdays.
Saturday, yeah, it's not the most convenient time of the week to tune in your TV. So make sure you got your VCR set, kids, so that you can record Collision on your VHS tapes.
Because you sure as shit probably won't want to watch it live. Have you? Okay, Russ, because we do not record this show on Saturdays. I mean, we just don't do it. Because to be honest with you, there's no incentive for us to.
Right.
Especially not with pay-per-views and shit. Has there, other than that first week where we did record Saturday night, has there been one time other than that where you watched Collision live?
Let's see. Nope, I don't think so.
Other than when you absolutely have to?
Yeah.
By the way,
I'll watch it. I'll even watch it a little later on Saturday just to zip through the commercials.
By the way,
yes,
we're not talking about Collision next week at all.
Okay.
Because SummerSlam and Collision are going head to head.
SummerSlam is next Saturday night. That's right.
SummerSlam and Collision are going head to head, and I am not watching two wrestling shows at the same friggin' time.
No. Let's do the commentary on SummerSlam. We'll concentrate on SummerSlam, and then we will anything else we want to add to the mix, we'll see, right?
I mean, eventually we're just going to start doing 2 shows, but yes.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll just do 2 shows, but we're not there yet. Anyway.
Correct. I'm not there technically. I'm getting there. I consulted with Damon over the weekend, and we got a few more things to get ready. But it is a work in progress.
Believe me, I'm in no hurry.
Miro. I'm
Yeah,
very happy to see Miro. I'd rather see him wrestle than talk, but it's good to hear him talk.
yeah. It's always good to hear Miro talk.
He is so over with the fans.
I love Miro so much. We got a surprise match between Darby Allin and Minoru Suzuki.
Right. One of my family members comes walking into the room when I was watching this match, and he said, "Who's the grandpa?" I said, "What do you mean, grandpa? He's at least 10 years younger than I am."
Hold on, how old is Minoru Suzuki? I forgot.
I'm going to guess and say 55. Just
You
guessing.
nailed it right on the head. Holy
Really?
shit.
I thought he looks like he's about 55. But I tell you what, for a 55-year-old man, he is in hellaciously good shape. He really is.
Hits hellaciously hard.
Yes. And these guys, it's not my favorite style of match, but I thought this was a perfect match. Darby, and they work with each other very well. And even though you know that Darby Allin is going to win.
Yeah, because it's a New Japan guy on AEW TV. He's going to lose.
It might have been more believable if Minoru had won, but like you said, that's not going to happen.
Plus, Darby just lost on Wednesday. He's not going to lose again.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Samoa Joe versus Gravity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gravity again. Good character. Do you know anything about him? No. This Samoa Joe got a big response. Samoa Joe was over with the crowd since he entered. Yeah. But he got a big response from the crowd when he began to mock Gravity's movements.
Before this, I forgot to mention, we did get a video package. I guess we're getting Hikaru Shida versus Tony Storm on Dynamite this week. That's going to be a really good match.
That should be good too. Yeah.
I just pray to God nobody gets hurt, because it seems like every time Hikaru Shida looks like she's about to get a big push, she gets hurt. Which I dread. And then we get this fucking shit. I'm about to go on a rant.
About CM Punk? Go for it.
So, my problems with this segment begin immediately.
What, you're talking about Tony Schiavone and CM Punk here?
So Tony Schiavone, this poor prick, this poor sap, looked like he didn't want to be there.
Didn't want to be in Hartford.
Didn't want to be in Hartford, and frankly, neither would I. He fucking... Okay, so Punk comes out. He's got the bag. We have not seen the bag since Punk came back.
Right.
We saw the bag when Punk came back. We have not seen the bag again. They made it sound like, oh, he's had the bag the whole fucking time. No, he hasn't. So anyway, Punk cuts this whole promo. The truth is not about being a good guy or a bad guy. Shut the hell up, dude, is all I'm thinking. I think this is his worst promo since he came back. And he's had some stinkers in AEW, but I think this is the worst one.
Brown wants to get a split. He's getting this many boos as he was cheers, wasn't he?
No, he was getting booed out of the fucking building.
They didn't like him in Hartford.
They don't like him anywhere.
But I will give him credit. He's the first guy I've heard in weeks mention Wembley. They haven't been talking about it. They haven't been
Oh,
hyping that
that's
show.
another part of my rant here, Russ.
Yeah,
Thank you. What a beautiful transition. So,
yeah,
anyway, we finally figured out what's in the bag. It's exactly what you thought it was. It's the AEW World Title. He says,
right,
"I'm the real champion." He then proceeds to fucking put the
but
belt down on the ground, pull
right,
out a spray can, and get booed out of the fucking building.
right, because he puts the straight edge logo on there,
And
and then
he
his old line, which he brought back, he said, "I'm straight edge, and I'm better than you." And I thought, oh boy, here we go.
and I
It sounds
thought
like he's definitely wanting to be a heel.
and I thought, "Oh my god, this guy hates this company."
Yeah, very interesting.
So anyway, this all leads to a match next week for CM Punk's world title with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat being the referee. What the fuck is going on here?
That seemed to come out with no buildup. What's the rhyme or reason? How does somehow Ricky Steamboat being named as a referee,
Contract.
how does that provide some kind of a threat against Ricky Starks? He's like, oh no, you can't. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh no, a 70-year-old man
Yeah.
who's exactly
They
70.
mentioned,
Man, we're
they
nailing ages
mentioned the
today.
fact that, you know, as you probably know, Ricky Steamboat is one of the few wrestlers in history who never a single time ever worked as a heel. And so the thing is, though, to say that he never broke the rules, he never cheated when he wrestled, so he would be an honest referee. Well, here's the thing. How old is he?
70.
70 years old?
Yeah.
Well, I hope he's got better physical stamina than I do,
You're
because
not 70.
I don't know if I could move around like that for 20 minutes in a ring.
You're not 70.
I'm only 65. I've got youth on my side.
Somehow you're 6 years older than I thought you were.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, he did the Hulk Hogan ear gimmick thing too. He always does that when the crowd doesn't like him. He always likes to mock him with the
Hogan.
yeah, which
He's
basically
a
means
real American. Anyway,
that's right.
probably gonna get copyrighted for that. We had the Guns and Juice Robinson against Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and El Hijo del Vikingo.
El Hijo del Vikingo.
Good match.
Yeah, the Guns. I just like seeing Juice Robinson. And if they got to put the Guns with somebody, I'd rather have them put them with him, somebody like that who can kind of lead them. The Guns are still a little green, in my opinion, but they have great, great potential.
Well, we had Mercedes Martinez versus Kara Hogan.
I love this. We haven't seen Mercedes Martinez in a while.
I was gonna say, what did you love here? Because I guarantee it wasn't Kara Hogan.
I love Mercedes. I like Mercedes Martinez. I always have. It's good to see her again. I like her because she's just such a mean, nasty bitch.
She really is.
She has got a mean streak and arrogant. Man, she is like a real, true bad guy.
She is the truest of the bad guys.
She's one of the wrestlers that, how some of them want to be a heel but still be cool. She is like a Triple H type wrestler that she embraces being a heel and she doesn't care what people think.
And well,
I think she's a pretty talented wrestler too.
She's very good in the ring. Anyway, she wins very quickly.
Yeah, and then we had a little bit of Willow and Chris Statlander and
the whole schmoz.
Yeah, the whole schmoz with the. Looks like we're going to get Statlander and Martinez next week.
Yes, we are. Well, we get our main event.
Let me insert in here. You notice how WWE the matches they put on the show and the storylines involved with them are all tend to build toward the climax of the storyline at the next pay-per-view, the big show of the pay-per-view. Whereas AEW, they're like booking to next week's show. Like I said, they aren't even talking about Wembley.
We're
They're
a month away. We are less than a month away from All In. We do
right.
not know a fucking thing.
Not a single match do we know for sure at this point.
We don't
And
know any matches for All In or All Out. All In could break a wrestling attendance record. They
right.
are within spitting distance of a freaking all-time record for
Right.
live wrestling attendance.
And
And
if this works, this is going to be the biggest show AEW's ever done.
if they announce a match here pretty soon that's big enough, this might be the biggest wrestling show ever attendance-wise.
Yeah.
They are, I think, 6,000 away from the largest live wrestling attendance ever.
That's pretty darn good. They sold way more tickets than I thought they would.
If they fuck
that's
this up,
no, I said I don't understand why they're not promoting more than a week ahead.
how have they? If they don't break that record, it's their own fucking fault.
Yeah.
Because 6,000 this late in the game is not that many tickets to sell if you announce enough matches here.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they're going so easy on it, but
if they start announcing matches like this week and they're all big hitters and they announce a bunch of heavy hitting matches, they're going to break the record. Yes. But anyway, FTR versus Adam Cole and MJF. FTR wins. I don't know why. I don't know what the point is of not just putting the belts on Cole and MJF. They're the hottest thing.
I thought it was a good match. I was surprised they didn't do that too.
I don't know what the point is in not doing it.
Well, apparently there's more they want to do with MJF and Adam Cole before they bring that to a close. They, it's how MJF teased that he was going to double cross him, and then he throws the belt down. I don't know what to believe anymore about that storyline.
Who freaking knows, dude? Listen,
I just know that it's the hottest thing in the crowd right now, and they decided not to pull the trigger. And you could see that the crowd was very let down. They were very disappointed overall. And I love FTR. FTR is my favorite tag team.
They should have pulled the trigger and put the belts on Cole and MJF.
Well, maybe they still will, but this would have seemed like a good time to do it. Maybe they're going to build up towards something at Wembley.
They're going to do Brian Cage and Big Bill against these two next week.
Well, yeah, but Brian Cage and Big Bill
against FTR.
Okay, so FTR is going to win that. And
I don't know what the hell is going to happen.
It's hard to tell.
Dude, I would have to think that Wembley is probably MJF versus CM Punk or All Out.
Yes.
I don't know. They're going to be in Chicago for All Out. Who the hell knows? They're probably going to put the freaking belt back on CM Punk. Who gives a shit? If they put the belt back on CM Punk, I'll legitimately stop caring for a while.
Yeah.
I'll stop caring. Anyway, everybody, that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
Go check out Uncle Russ's Comic Talk, the movie shelf. Go check me out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/BenGames99.
Absolutely, yeah.
Come hang out, have fun, and be a weirdo.
Next time around, we will probably, looks like we will be talking about SummerSlam.
Yeah, hard to believe. Feels like WrestleMania was yesterday.
Yeah, it does. But we're moving right along in the season.
Feels like WrestleMania was yesterday. But we will see you right back here next week. Obviously, I'm going to be streaming pretty much every day this week. So if you want to hang out with me, if you want to see me every day this week, well, you'll see me at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And I'll probably stream Thursday because I usually stream 4 days a week anyway.
Right. So just hop right into the stream. Be sure to roll your pant legs up, take off your shoes and socks. Jump
Yeah.
right into the stream there with Uncle Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
Uncle Ben, while he's not busy making rice, he's making podcasts.
But yeah, that's that. We're back here next week. Thanks to our producer Damon Marvin.
Much thanks to Damon.
Thanks to Uncle Russ for showing up for work. And I will see you all, well, tonight, probably on the stream. And then, of course, for this show, we'll see you back here Sunday. Have a good one, y'all.